Well, I'm very pleased to say that GEPF was the organization that stuck its hand up at the PRI board and said we really would like to host PRI in South Africa. And so we've been one of the local organizers, if you want to call it that, in bringing PRI to South Africa and to the African continent for the first time. Really two reasons, actually. The one is to expose other Southern African and African pension funds to the PRI initiative. It's not always easy for these funds to travel to international other cities like Rio or Paris, where PRI has been hosted previously. It's far easier for them to get to Cape Town. And we also wanted to introduce the international PRI signatory base to the investment opportunities both within South Africa and also on the African continent, and to facilitate and foster that international peer, local peer networking.
I was invited to the PRI to talk around issues of nomination and leadership and governance. And really what I found very exciting about this conference has really been the network of people that have come together who look beyond issues, as I said, of bottom line profits, but issues of holistic performance of companies and how investing beyond the obvious is very important to sustainability of organizations.
Well, there's a lot of reasons I attended. First of all, to be in South Africa, to understand what's going on with the continent, that was critical. Most importantly, it's to learn. In particular, to learn where each piece of the capital markets stands with regard to sustainable capitalism. So where are the asset owners? Where are the asset managers? Where are the investment banks, the exchanges, the regulators? Where are the accountants, the consultants? Where does everyone stand on truly operationalizing the necessity of sustainable finance and the integration of environmental, social, and governance excellence into the investment process?
Okay, I think the PRI in person is an interesting event because it combines a number of factors. There are some interesting debates. I think the quality of the discussions varies quite significantly. There are some good ones and there are some less sort of significant conversations that take place. But I think most importantly, it brings together in a fairly unique way a lot of the thinkers, both the global thinkers and the people that are actually actioning what's going on together. It gives them a time to I think, get two key elements out of it. One is it's historically been a challenging space for professionals, given that it's always been seen in a slightly less serious light by a lot of players, and it gives these people an opportunity to draw off each other's energy, and that's a very constructive opportunity. And increasingly, it's a very powerful networking event as well, in terms of the way that asset owners and asset managers are getting an opportunity to have serious conversations. And then, I guess, at points, there are one or two serious issues that finally get tabled, whether it's a governance issue around our own structure and organization like the PRI, or a particular academic or philosophical point that starts to resonate. So I think issues around disclosure and remuneration have been very topical, both within the PRI community themselves, but also increasingly that's a key global issue. So I think the PRI in-person event really combines those two factors, good networking opportunity and then some decent debate.
It's for a number of reasons. One, or the biggest one, is that I was conscripted to come and do some of the sessions. But this is a subject that is very close to my heart. Throughout my professional life, sustainability and long-term planning has been key. Secondly, it is an area in which my employer, which is the Public Investment Corporation, and one of our key principles, which is the Government Employee Pension Fund, one of the co-hosts of the event here, are signatories to the UNPRI. They are also signatories to the UN Global Compact, both of which are underlying institutions to carry forward the mission of sustainable investing and responsible investing going forward. So I'm here both for an intellectual reason and also for the basis of my employ.
Well, I think the issues that to promote the Sustainable Returns booklet, the guide that we've developed, but to learn and interact with the other delegates and to always use the opportunity to learn. I think one has a philosophy that one must always have open ears and eyes to new ideas, and but also to use the opportunity to confirm that you're on the right track in terms of one's own views, etc. It was a big learning, but my primary reason was to promote the Sustainable Returns Project and the guide that we launched a few weeks ago.
I think for the longest of times, I've been in the field of sustainable development, and it has always been my belief that the investing community, as the providers of capital, are the ones that can really drive the sustainable development agenda, because they actually fuel the growth. Without them, the growth won't happen. And if it's done in a responsible way, that will then allow that we have a better future, and that's what sustainable development is really all about. And therefore, coming here in person and be able to engage and understand what is their thinking, and also being in a position to influence their thinking, was very useful for me. And also I've made a lot of contacts whereby we can then take some of the topic offline and discuss practical examples in what we can do as companies to meet their standards, and also how they can help us, to be able to fit that information in a language which they feel is very useful for them to make the decisions that they need to make.
So why is, first of all, the networking, in all honesty, I've only been working at PGM for 2 years now, so I'm relatively new to this space. And it just, even in this day and age, it still helps to personally know people. And then you can take it, by email or in other ways from there. But the personal contact is still important. And then, as I said, you learn quite a few things in the process. And I hopefully have also shared some of the things that we've found out. I just came from chairing a water panel. And water is one of those natural resources issues that has quite a lot of interest these days. And hopefully others have been able to take advantage of that. So it's networking and sharing, really.
I think as we have an initiative in our company, I think it's a very good opportunity to see what other persons have been doing. As we are a country of an emerging market, in Brazil it's a very emerging market. We are in a very, very interesting moment in our country. And we have a lot of responsibility in terms of responsible and sustainable investments. And I think it's very good to hear about what other people have been doing around the world, and lived experience to apply in our investment process.
Okay, and anything else you would like to say?
I think one important thing to say is exactly that we are in a very interesting moment in the world. We have been discussing a lot of things like climate change, like how we can have to have a good relationship with the workers. And so I think it's very important to have this kind of initiative like PRI have, and to try to engage more and more people to follow the same path, because at the end of the day, we are talking about the future of the world, the future for our children, for the future of humanity. And this is a humankind question. It's not a financial market question as well.
Well, I've attended the PRI in person to put a face to a lot of the names that we hear when we talk to each other on the phone during clearinghouse engagements or otherwise steering committee meetings over the phone. It's always nice to put a face to people, and always, obviously this is our one opportunity a year to network on PRI related issues. So that is, and obviously the fact that I was speaking on a panel as well. But apart from that, that's really the main point, and that's why I think this event is so useful.
Well, at MSCI ESG Research, we are one of the largest providers of environmental, social, and governance information and analysis to the investment community. We have one of the largest analyst teams globally that analyze ESG information. So for us, many of our clients really are PRI signatories. They are attending, and many of them are attending to learn more about the PRI, and actually a number of them are real thought leaders in this space. So we're always here to engage with them, and also to learn from them. Many people have been trying to do different things to integrate environmental, social, and governance factors in their investments, and a gathering like this will always bring together some of the best ideas that we want to take home.
I'm here as a staff, so it wasn't really a choice, but if I had a choice, I would have taken it anyway. I certainly feel that it has been an opportunity to be able to sit with my signatories and be able to show them the practical implication of the new framework. So we've actually showed them in one of our sessions how the actual online tool works and how the signatories can have an easier way to reporting. So this is something that we, be able to do this live and something that we think will change the industry and the transparency of responsible investment, and do it in a place in South Africa where the history of where responsible investment in the origins has something that started from here, and what the previous kind of way of looking at responsible investment started is pretty exciting. It's a pretty awesome opportunity.
Professionally, it is very useful because I was able to gather information and have this discussion with the people in the same people who have same interest. And also, it is very useful in a way we are able to know what kind of direction that ESG would take place in the next several years. And it is very important for me to look at where the ESG issues are going.
Well, I think this conference has been really important in opening people's eyes up to what's really happening in Africa, not just in South Africa, but in Africa in its entirety. We've learned a lot about the economies. We've learned a lot about what investment's taking place, and I think it's demystified Africa in a way that you are not going to find from sitting at your desk in London.
First of all, because I am one of the members of the advisory council, and then because I like to participate, to change the best practice in each country, and we have a good opportunity here to do this one.